Hello and welcome to another installment of the Morning Brew live on NTN. We're coming to you from the GIS studios. A special good morning to you, those of you watching on air, online, residents in St. Lucia, St. Lucians in the diaspora, and well-wishers worldwide. We're bringing you the latest news coming from the government of St. Lucia. The lead of these we are observing today, the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer 2020. We do have the Permanent Secretary in the Department of Sustainable Development with a statement in observance of this day. Her name is Miss Anita Montut. That is coming up later in our broadcast. We also have an important notice coming from the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice, Local Government and Empowerment. They will be undertaking the recertification of the Public Assistance Program starting today. We have the details to that. If you are in any way involved in the public assistance program, your beneficiary, we encourage you to stay tuned for the duration of the program to find out this latest information in terms of the recertification of recipients. Also, the contacts of the 27th recorded case of COVID-19 have all been tested. The results are in. We will tell you that in just a moment. Also, UNICEF aids the Ministry of Education in providing psychosocial support to young students. We know that the academic year has begun. It's Michaelmas. We're leading up to the Christmas, the holiday season, and the kids going back to school. We do hope that, considering COVID, that they're doing well, and also looking at the time when we had the onset, the advent of COVID-19, it was all a shock to everybody, and some concerns, some anxieties here and there based on a family and national level. So the UNICEF is helping the Ministry of Education to provide some psychosocial support. We have the details to that coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. And also, the island's Governor General is the newest member of the Rotary Club of St. Lucia. Do stay with us. We have a packed program this morning. We have the details to these stories coming up after this break.
What does coronavirus have in common with love? Both are highly contagious. Spread love, not the virus. Like you, COVID-19 loves a lime. Beach, river, or fed. Coronavirus is like these people who track every lime just to invade. The best way to put off invaders? Cancel the lime. Spread love, not the virus. Keep you and your crew corona-free. Live to lime another day.
Together let us win this war. Said we shall be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
She's been watching, waiting, wondering when the sands of time will give way to a tide of change, and for yesterday and today to become a new tomorrow. For a time when her sun can kiss the cheeks of your loved one, and her stars can twinkle in her honeymoon skies. When her earthly embrace will reassure and calm your soul. And her unique view can change your whole perspective. Proudly, she has risen to meet new challenges and to provide safe harbor to all who reach her shores. For her hopes and dreams still stand, shoulder to shoulder, a precious reminder of experiences yet to come. So, wherever your moments and memories take you, let her sense of adventure set you free. She is St. Lucia. Let her inspire you.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, a special good morning to you. My name is Jessie Leonce. This is the Morning Brew live on NTN. We're bringing you the latest developments coming from the government of St. Lucia. If you're joining our live on Facebook or on YouTube, we'd like to say good morning to you. Join the conversation. We have many topics that we're covering this morning, including an update from the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice, Local Government and Empowerment. They are undertaking the recertification of the Public Assistance Program. If you are a recipient of this program, you do need to pay attention. This month, September, the recertification process is happening. All clients who are on the public assistance program in Gros Islet are informed that interviewers will be visiting their homes on Wednesday, that is today, September 16th, 2020, and tomorrow, Thursday, September 17th, 2020, to complete their forms and update their information. Persons who are not on the public assistance program and need assistance from government are asked to report to the Gros Islet Human Resource Development Center. That is today, the 16th, and tomorrow, the 17th, from 9 a.m. to meet with the interviewers. This is very important, so you can become a beneficiary under this program. All persons should have available a recent copy of their electricity and water bills, their national identification cards, and their public assistance cards. So please take note of this. They are doing the recertification of the public assistance program, and just some information there on the district of Gros Islet. Clients who are on the public assistance program in that district are informed that interviewers will be visiting their homes Wednesday, that is today, the 16th of September, and tomorrow, Thursday, the 17th of September 2020, to complete their forms and to update their information. We've been hearing a lot of word about how COVID-19 has, created a situation where there are many more people who are in need. And it's also been acknowledged that there are many persons, there needs to be a review of the public assistance program to ensure that those who really need the help are getting it. So this is an effort, an undertaking of the Ministry of Equity to ensure that the program, the public assistance program, is refined to meet the section of the population that needs this assistance most. Persons who are not on the public assistance program and need assistance from government are asked to report to the Gros Islet Human Resource Development Center on September 16th, that is today, and 17th from 9 a.m. to meet with interviewers. Now, this is for the district of Gros Islet. We are on standby for more updates from the Ministry of Equity as it pertains to other districts, beneficiaries in other districts. So please stay tuned to NTN for these updates as they come in. But we encourage everyone in the district of Gros Islet who are in need to capitalize on today and tomorrow with the individuals who will be in that district to help with this program. We do have this morning a statement from Miss Anita Montoute. She is the Permanent Secretary in the Department of Sustainable Development, and that is on the occasion of International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer 2020. And we will be hearing from her later on in the program. I encourage you to stay tuned, and we will be bringing that to you in just a while. Today is the International Day. The United Nations stated that it is the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer for 2020. We continue with news this morning. Investigations into the 27th case of the coronavirus recorded here in St. Lucia are continuing by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. We had the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmont George, stating that contact tracing is ongoing, but thus far, all contacts that have of the individual, the latest case, patient 27, all contacts of that individual have been tested negative. We go to our first clip of the morning.
On receipt of the notification from the Ezra Long Laboratory, the confirmed case was immediately isolated and contact tracing commenced. The investigation consisted of interviews, contact tracing, screening and testing as required of all the possible contacts. These contacts included the passengers from the flight seated in proximity to the case, that is 2 rows in front and 2 rows to the back, port personnel, taxi driver, the hotel employees, and the guests. The tests done in all of the contacts of the visitor thus far are all negative. Investigations and contact tracing by the health team at the hotel on Wednesday, September 9, 2020, has indicated that the transmission risk was low. The adherence by the hotel's management and staff to the recommended protocols resulted in low exposure during the limited period of his stay.
And just to give you some background information on this latest case, on Tuesday, September 8th, 2020, the island recorded its 27th case of COVID-19. It is a 27-year-old male, ironically, a male visitor, coincidentally, arriving in St. Lucia on Sunday, September 6th, 2020. On the evening of Wednesday, September 9th, 2020, he was repatriated to the United States via private airline. Dr. Belmar George reiterates the need for vigilance and compliance with established protocols.
As more sectors open and restrictions are reduced, the public is advised as always to take the necessary personal responsibility to protect themselves and family. We continue to increase our surveillance to reduce the risks, such as the illegal entry at the borders, breaches to home quarantine, and the non-adherence to protocols. We continue to advise on the maintenance of the standard recommendations for infection prevention and control, which include regular hand washing with soap and water or alcohol-based hand sanitizers when soap and water may not be available, and to cover your mouth and nose with disposable tissues when coughing and sneezing. We appeal to everyone to continue supporting our national effort to minimize the threat of COVID-19 on our island.
For your information, St. Lucia has recorded a total of 27 confirmed registered cases of COVID-19 with 0 deaths. There is much to be thankful for. These cases, they have in about 3 cases, I think they've been repatriated. And of all 27, we've so far seen the recovery of 26, and the 27th case having been repatriated last week. We haven't gotten a status update on that one. A total of 7,391 tests have been conducted to date here in St. Lucia. We continue to be vigilant for the novel coronavirus in St. Lucia. Our borders have been reopened. We've had the resumption of society as normal. Well, the new normal, you know, everything that goes with it, the wearing of the mask, the use of hand sanitizer, the frequent washing of your hands, observing of the 6-foot distance. We encourage you to continue to adhere to these protocols as they are part of the machine that continues to protect us and mitigate the risk of COVID-19 here in St. Lucia. We just want to give you a further update, the last update, I believe, from the Ministry of Health. They are informing the public that for persons traveling outside of St. Lucia and requiring a PCR test, that is the test you take to determine if you have COVID-19 or not, you can access the service at the Grosile Polyclinic or the Viewfort Wellness Center. We're just reminding you, a swabbing for the PCR COVID-19 test will be available at these 2 centers from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The cost of the PCR test is US $100 or 267 EC dollars to be paid at the Grosile Polyclinic or the Viewfort Wellness Center. Of course, when you're going to get the test done, you just carry the money with you. Persons are also advised to walk with a valid form of identification, that is your ID card, when accessing services at these facilities. It is recommended that persons come in at least 3 days, that is 72 hours, at least 72 hours before the scheduled travel date. All persons coming to conduct business at the Grosile Polyclinic or the Viewfort Wellness Center must wear a mask before entering the facilities. All hands will be sanitized with an alcohol-based sanitizer, an alcohol-based solution, and that is something we're all used to. You walk into an establishment, you walk into an institution, and you're greeted with a security guard or personnel on hand to have you sanitize your hands. The Ministry of Health will continue to take the necessary measures to ensure the health and safety of all staff and patients during the COVID-19 pandemic. If you want some more information, if you have to travel soon and you want some information as to when and where, or something more specific in terms of the PCR test that you need to take to determine if you have COVID-19, you can contact the Ministry of Health at 468-5309. That is 468-5309. So these are the latest updates on COVID-19. I hope you are doing your part. School is back on. Many persons are going back to work. Things are coming slow and steady back to normal. And we do hope, again, you are playing your part. We are still under a state of emergency, and this will continue until the 30th of September, as provided by the legislation, the House of Assembly. And so we will be giving you an update going forward. But in the meantime, we are under a state of emergency. Continuing with news, the British Virgin Islands, Guyana, and Trinidad and Tobago are among countries in the region that are tightening measures to combat the pandemic as cases continue to climb. So we're taking a look right now at the regional picture of this COVID-19, and we know that Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago have been grappling with cases, so much so that within this whole bubble, the travel bubble that many persons enjoyed in terms of being able to travel to and from these countries within the islands from St. Lucia, they were removed from that list. We have an update from Michelle Nurse from CARICOM News Time, giving us an update on where these three countries, these three territories are at right now.
The British Virgin Islands went into hard lockdown from the 2nd of September until the 16th of September. That means that residents must remain within the confines of their home between a minute after 1 p.m. each day and 5 each morning. The limited hours of movement are for essential trips only, such as purchasing groceries or medicine or taking limited exercise. From the 1st of September, Guyana reverted to its 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. curfew. The curfew for the past couple of weeks was from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. And as part of measures to ensure strict adherence to COVID-19 protocols, charges will be imposed on individuals who fail to wear a mask in public spaces. Guyana's airports will also remain closed to all incoming international flights, with some special exceptions. The measures are to remain in full effect until the 30th of September 2020. Over in Trinidad and Tobago, failure to wear a mask will also attract a penalty. All in-house dining at restaurants and bars, food courts and malls is suspended, and beaches, rivers, gyms and places of worship are closed.
Thank you, Michelle Nurse from CARICOM News Time. That is an update on the British Virgin Islands, Guyana, and Trinidad and Tobago. They are among the countries in the region that are tightening their measures to combat the pandemic as cases continue to climb. And just taking a look back on the measures that we had initially taken, our borders were closed and it was inconvenient for many, but it is attributed to the advanced state that St. Lucia is in terms of its management of COVID-19. Of course, we do wish the British Virgin Islands, Guyana, and Trinidad all the best as they continue to get a grip on this pandemic situation. We continue with the news this morning. The Governor General, Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, has accepted an invitation by the Rotary Club of St. Lucia to become an honorary member. We have the details to that story on the other end of this break. Do stay with us. Tell Miguel to add some.
Cette lisi ka registre vers min corona ek I ka fait mouvement ek an chay vitesse tan chaque canef ka kouye pour vigilance publique la fait wolo parler en place publique kon bon lanme base ti boutique changer distance sociale 6 pieds Rodyon à l'autre. I ka travail tan, si ou senti ko pa cordial, quarantine ko, pas en contact et puis l'autre, en cas où te toi pe exposé. C'est un écouye, free one ou ben n'importe clinique yo pou. Les pays a dimi à clé, ça veut dire les supermarkets, pharmacies et puis ATM, yo accessible avant c'était souhait. Pays à clé en plein, ça veut dire tout bagay fermé à 24 heures. Servi protocole comme sorti par bureau indication santé. Nous tout ensemble, sa sauve ve min corona. Si nous tout servi jidla à toutes les.
Together let us win this war. Said we shall be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
What's in the food you're eating? Do you really even know? All the chemicals and hormones used to accelerate their growth. All the artificial flavoring, sweeteners and colors too. We consume and we don't spare a thought for the damage that they'll do. No, think about the children. Think about the children. How will we save them? Chemicals and GMOs are not the solution. Use organic and join revolution.
Excessive agrochemical use, additives, and genetically modified foods are harmful to health and the environment. Join the good food revolution. Grow, buy, and consume organic. A message from Rise St. Lucia and the Ministry of Sustainable Development with funding from the GEF Small Grants Program, UNDP.
The good food revolution.
We continue with updates from the government of St. Lucia on the Morning Brew live on NTN. This morning, the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development has presented psychosocial support resources to district councillors supplied by UNICEF. These materials are to support young students who are adversely impacted by various stressors brought on by the coronavirus. Chief Education Officer Dr. Fiona Philip Meyer officially handed over the materials.
The packages that each child will receive is part of a response. It would give them something tangible in terms of a mask, something that they can use, but there are affirmations on those masks. There's a doll, there's a stress doll, there's a ball as well. There are quite a few things in that little package, and all of that is complements UNICEF and in collaboration with our district education officers and more specifically our district councillors who have been part and parcel of this process.
Coordinator of Guidance Counseling, Ms. Joycelyn Eugene, thanked UNICEF on behalf of all school counselors for partnering with the education sector in St. Lucia in order to direct attention to the younger ones who, like the adults, are attempting to cope with the challenges of COVID-19, particularly on family and school life.
I want to appeal to the parents particularly to allow the children some time to play, to, use the items that are in the bag, because it is to help them ease some of the anxieties and some of the concerns that they may have as we have been going through this COVID period. On behalf of the district councillors who are here with me, they have been the ones who work diligently with our primary school students. And they, together with their district education officers, have been planning on how we can alleviate some of the stress that the students would have been going through with the transition back into school. So this is also a gesture to assist some of the students with this transition. We have school counselors in the secondary school, so we have gone through preparing bags for grades 1 to 7. And so some of the students in the lower school will also receive some of the tangible items to assist them. This, of course, would be one phase of our efforts in helping students settle into the new academic year in a manner that is going to be that will be helpful for them, that will relieve some of their tension, some of their stress, and will allow them to be successful despite some of the challenges that they face during COVID.
That was Ms. Joycelyn Eugene, the coordinator of guidance counseling in the Ministry of Education. And finally, before we go on to the statement by the Permanent Secretary of the Department of Sustainable Development on the occasion of International Day for the Preservation of Ozone Layer Day, we have Ms. Anita Montoute to make that statement. We do have the Governor General, Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, accepting an invitation by a Rotary St. Lucia, the Rotary Club of St. Lucia, to become an honorary member. The invitation was made during a call upon the Governor General by Rotary District Governor Lyle Chase, along with the Assistant Governor Charles Asserie, District Secretary Soraya Warner Gustav, President Lethan Khan, and Chairperson Evariste Jamari. We have the details in this report.
Rotarian Lyle Chase has ascended to the prestigious position of District Governor, creating history. It is the first time that a St. Lucian is serving as governor for District 7030, which is a grouping of 72 clubs with a membership of more than 2,200, spanning 17 territories from St. Kitts Nevis in the north to French Guiana, Suriname, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao in the south. Assistant Governor for St. Lucia, Charles Asserie, says District Governor Chase has an impressive service record that has brought about change throughout the years.
He joined the Rotary Club of St. Lucia in December of 1983, and he was president in the year 1988-1989. In 1992, he felt he should grow a little bit more, so he opened another club, the Rotary Club of Rosalie. And he was the first inaugural president, and they had a unique distinction in that they allowed women into Rotary, with something which the other clubs at the time were not allowing. So he's a trailblazer, as usual.
The recently installed district governor is credited for ensuring the sustainability of Rotary by starting a satellite club for the youth in 2017. Noting the success of Rotary International in eradicating polio in all but 2 countries of the world, Governor Lyle Chase is keen on replicating that health success in the region. A childhood obesity prevention program is at the top of the agenda. Chase explained the importance of the program.
Childhood obesity is the genesis of many of our non-communicable diseases. Diabetes, hypertension, even things like depression and cancer are rooted in childhood obesity in many cases. And in the Caribbean area, over 40 to 45% of our adolescents are obese. And that figure has come from 5% within the last 20 years.
St. Lucia's Governor General, His Excellency Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, lauded the Rotary Club for its commitment to community and pledged support to the agenda of District Governor Lyle Chase.
The work that Rotary is doing cannot be put in a scale with any work that is being done anywhere for Rotary not to tip the scale. I'm particularly moved by, apart from everything else, by the plan to take the 100 or so people who have gone astray of the streets. We can refer to them as Christ would himself, as the least of our brethren. They are our brethren. And I believe it would be one of the greatest jobs that Rotary would have done for St. Lucia.
District Governor Lyle Chase has also committed to pursuing peace and literacy during his term. From the Government Information Service, Lisa Joseph reporting.
Thank you for that report, Lisa Joseph, on the Governor General Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack accepting an invitation by the Rotary Club of St. Lucia to become an honorary member. Well, that brings us to the end of our updates. We do have a statement coming from Ms. Anita Mantut, and she is the Permanent Secretary of the Department of Sustainable Development on the occasion of International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer that is being observed today, the 16th of September. We will bring you the statement directly after this break. Stay with us.
better yet use soap and water.
We must protect each other if we are to beat this corona. Together let us win this war. Be a soldier for St. Lucia. Together let us win this war. Be a soldier, together we can beat this corona.
So you don't become the next case. The void touching your face. I'm sure you've been told so. Handshakes and hugging are up. No, no.
Advice is you to please. Cover your mouth and your nose if you cough or sneeze.
Practice social distancing and avoid large social gatherings.
Together let us win this war. Be a soldier for St. Lucia. Together let us win this war. St. Lucia, be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
For further information, please contact the hotline at 311 or the Bureau of Health Education at 468-5349.
Overnight growing national unrest.
Society, a digital cashless society, one world currency.
A vaccine for COVID-19.
Droplets
of
virus. Macy's iconic flagship.
Track the coronavirus.
Everybody vaccinated
On the corona pandemic.
our position to the lockdown.
An infected conspiracy theories.
about the coronavirus.
Bizarre
5G.
The truth about the origin of COVID-19 hidden from the rest of the world. And the Chinese.
In this constantly changing environment, resulting in sensory overload, cut through the noise and tune in to the National Television Network, the official source of information, all facts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. We're now down to our final segment. And as promised, we have Ms. Anita Montoot, a statement from the Permanent Secretary from the Department of Sustainable Development, speaking to us on today's occasion of International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer 2020. Before we get to that statement, I just want to read out to you again the statement coming from the update coming from the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice, Local Government and Empowerment. And this is for individuals in the Grosile district, individuals who are looking to benefit from the public assistance program. The recertification of the program is ongoing. So today and tomorrow, that is the 16th of September, and tomorrow, Thursday, 17th of September, you will be visited. If you are on the public assistance program right now in Grosile, you will be visited, by interviewers to your homes so that they can complete forms and update your information. Persons who are not on the public assistance program and are in need of assistance, because we know COVID-19 has thrown many for a curve, and at this point in time, the true reality of individuals who are in need needs to be revised. And so these individuals are asked to report to the Grosile Human Resource Development Center on September 16th, that is today, and tomorrow, Thursday the 17th, from 9 a.m. to meet with interviewers. You're also asked to bring with you a recent copy of your electricity bill, and also your water bill, and also your national identification card, and also your public assistance card, and that is in the case of individuals who are already on the program. So please take note of this. This is an update for individuals regarding the public assistance program in the district of Grosile. And finally, we now go to the statement from the Permanent Secretary in the Department of Sustainable Development, Ms. Anita Montoot, and it is on the occasion of International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer 2020.
Today, September 16th, 2020, St. Lucia joins the rest of the world to celebrate the 45th anniversary of the Vienna Convention for the Protection of the Ozone Layer. This year, the theme, Ozone for Life, 45 Years of Ozone Layer Protection, recognizes this milestone and highlights the Vienna Convention's role in bringing together the science and the policy issues. This was a pivotal step in alerting the world of the growing ozone hole that had been detected and the need for global action on an unprecedented scale. St. Lucia joined the global effort to protect the ozone layer in 1993 when we acceded to the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer. This agreement, which has received support from 197 countries of the world, came into being in response to the revelation that chlorofluorocarbon, CFCs, and other ozone-depleting substances used in aerosol, cooling and refrigeration system, and many other items were causing damage to the ozone layer, allowing dangerous ultraviolet radiation, UV, to flood through. Increased exposure to UV radiation can lead to skin cancers and eye cataract in humans and can cause damage to plants and marine life. Since joining the Montreal Protocol, some of our key achievements thus far include: under the Terminal Phase-Out Management Plan, St. Lucia successfully eliminated the import and use of CFC in 2008, 2 years ahead of the 2010 phase-out date for developing countries. We have significantly reduced our consumption of a second major group of ODS called hydrochlorofluorocarbon, HCFC, by 40% compared to 2010 level through the implementation of a license and quota system to control HCFC imports. We are committed to completely phasing out this group of substance by 2030. The government instituted a ban on assembled equipment comprising ozone-depleting substances as at 1st January 2020, making it illegal to import such equipment. Under St. Lucia ODS phasing out program, over 120 refrigeration and air conditioning technicians have been trained in good refrigeration and management practice, including the recovery and recycling of refrigerants. We continue to ensure capacity building for our support agencies, and in this regard, custom officers have been trained in the application of the ODS licensing and quota system, as well as identification and testing of refrigerants. We can all agree this year has been a challenging one. As the world contemplates solutions to the COVID-19 crisis, the Vienna Convention and its Montreal Protocol stands as shining example on how global crises can be resolved through international cooperation. Through the unwavering commitment of all nations of the world, the Montreal Protocol has eliminated about 98% of the ozone-depleting substances and avoid about 2 million cases of skin cancer annually. This year, we will embark on another journey to reduce the importation and the use of another group of powerful greenhouse gases called hydrofluorocarbon, or HFCs, by acceding to the Kigali Amendment to the Montreal Protocol, which was adopted in 2016. This new amendment will contribute to the ongoing efforts to reducing global warming and climate change. As a small nation, we are proud to have contributed to the success of the Montreal Protocol, and we will continue to work towards securing a healthy environment for all. The theme, Ozone for Life, reminds us that we all need a healthy ozone layer to protect us and our environment, and we need to preserve it for the future generation to come. I thank you.
That was Ms. Anita Montoute. The statement she delivered was on occasion of the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer that is being observed today. She's the Permanent Secretary in the Department of Sustainable Development. Well, that brings us to the end of the Morning Brew for today. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. My name is Jessie Leon, signing off for now. Do stay tuned to NTN. Do keep abreast of what's happening in your country, what the government is doing in many areas of our society at this point in time. We invite you to tune in at 7 p.m. for the NTN Nightly, and again tomorrow morning for the Morning Brew. Again, goodbye and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.